Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation and control. This is a term increasingly popping up in articles, television news, and social media. It's important for us to understand what gaslighting is, just so that we can protect ourselves. It's good to understand how it works, how it plays out, and allow yourself to know how to deal with manipulative and controlling people that show up in your own life. The term gaslighting refers to a specific, highly calculating form of manipulation of one individual by another. Most commonly, gaslighting is carried out by someone in close contact and in a position of trust, like an intimate partner, a close friend or a family member, or someone with a close working relationship, with the target of manipulation. It is a deliberate and complex means of intentionally controlling an individual, which is carried out over an extended period of time. This term itself originally comes from a 1930s film adapted from a stage play. Over the course of the story, a husband successfully undermines, destabilizes, confuses, and controls his wife. Over time, he causes her to question and doubt her thoughts, perceptions, feelings, and even when she sees it with her own eyes, he continually and deliberately dims the gaslight, which he repeatedly denies. It is important for us to understand what gaslighting is because each and every one of us are potentially vulnerable to this powerful and dangerous form of manipulation by people in different roles in our life. Dangerous manipulation. This film that I was referring to grippingly and with accuracy and precision depicts both subtle and overt ways in which a perpetrator carries out the prolonged and intentional destabilization of his target, his wife. Just as in the film, in real life, this form of control can creep in virtually undetected. Emotionally abusive people are often people with low self-esteem, spilling over onto others, but they wish to control others rather than engage in mutually respectful relationships. They don't understand that you can have a relationship that requires consideration, empathy, compassion, and kindness, but instead they seek ways to undermine and overpower someone as they fear losing them, regardless of the damage that it causes them. And their manipulation comes from a negative place, a place that is dark and from low self-esteem. Real life examples. A close work colleague, for example, may seek to control and exploit a talented person under their supervision. Over time, they may take ownership and credit for the target's work and ideas and undermine their judgment, sense of their own abilities, talents, and potential, while presenting an entirely different and highly supportive front to the rest of the organization. Should the target express a desire to move on, they could be showered with praise and false promises and persuaded to stay put. The behaviors of the manipulative work colleague might range from subtle to bold and may be outrageous at times, and yet remain undetected due to the derailing effect on the target. We all want to believe in good in people, and many times it takes us time to see constant evidence against somebody who may be trying to derail you or gaslight you. What happens to the target of this type of manipulation and control is highly destabilizing. They are left feeling confused, lacking in confidence in their abilities and prospects, and doubting their own thoughts, skill sets, perceptions of what is really going on. Eventually, even with evidence to the contrary, the target of gaslighting becomes trapped, feels caged in, and will have to go and do a lot of work, tremendous amounts of work, to challenge and regain their freedom and autonomy and try to decipher between what is true and what is their low self-esteem and this person's manipulative behaviors. Manipulative intimate partner, friend, or family member relationships can have the same destabilizing effect. For example, an individual shows up late for a dinner date with someone that they've briefly just met. Their date is a no-show and later swears up and down that they did not make that date in this arrangement. Despite the written proof in a written form as a reminder in the electronic day timer and a clear memory of having made this plan, the target of the manipulative partner decides not to make it a big deal and continue seeing this person because they genuinely seem convincing. Over time, repeated no-shows, unfulfilled promises, denials, minimized hurt feelings all tend to come along with praise and declarations of love and devotion. This leaves any person and the target of these abusive manipulations really confused, riddled with doubt, and questioning their own sense of reality. In numerous and perhaps, more easily identifiable manipulative situations, there's many public figures out there that are called out for saying one thing and doing another. It is really important for us to start questioning what's going on out there. Are people being genuinely authentic, or are they sometimes saying things and doing something that's hypocritical? In today's world, some public figures, say one thing and do another, and many times we don't call them on it. It is important for us to recognize that this cognitive dissonance are mixed messages, and they're mirrors that same time destabilize and make us, question things, because it is a form of manipulation, lying, and control. Identifying behaviors and patterns. In the throes of a relationship where gaslighting is taking place, there is always a pattern, and it does slowly over time emerge. This pattern consists of a series of situations that don't align with the target's sense of what is real and true. The target of manipulation, despite physical evidence to the contrary, is left in a state of self-doubt. We question ourselves. Further, abusers also engage in a series of behaviors designed to instill self-doubt into their target. They deflect and change subject matters, manipulate or divert conversations to avoid detection. Targets of manipulation are often forced to defend themselves. Once the target begins to doubt themselves, the abuser has found their way in. Eventually, over an extended period of time, the abuser lowers their self-esteem and weakens their sense of reality and autonomy of the target. Many times, targets of gaslighting exhibit high levels of self-doubt and low self-esteem. They make excuses for their behaviors, defend themselves, and do a lot to protect themselves. It is important for us to reflect in life. Am I surrounded by people that make me higher, better versions of myself? Or am I sometimes interacting with people and allowing abusive dynamics to take place? Yes, I said that. We do allow relationships to continue because we doubt ourselves. It is important for you to align with yourself and realize that if something feels off, if you start feeling controlled or manipulated, that you might want to carefully explore that. Trust yourself. Faith in yourself. You got to stand by you. And so I would challenge you to take a moment right now in this mindful minute. Breathe in and breathe out and think about the relationships in your life. Have you been in a gaslighting relationship in the past? Have you experienced things that I was speaking about with coworkers or friends? Have you grown enough to identify people that are healthy for you? Have you set boundaries with people that are unhealthy, or walked away and cut off people that could be dangerous for you? Let's take a moment right now as this mindful moment, breathing in and out, and just reflect on this topic of gaslighting. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in and breathe out. And reflect on the topic of gaslighting. As I welcome you back from this mindful moment on gaslighting, if you or somebody you know is in a gaslighting relationship, as with all forms of abuse, understanding how gaslighting works and feels, and acknowledging what is happening are the first steps to breaking free. Escaping from a gaslighting relationship is not always easy, but it is possible. The first step is deciding to leave. From there, leaving often involves ending all communication and cutting the abuser out of your life entirely. and bringing in supports to assist you when your abuser attempts to reestablish control. We are all meant to live our own lives and surround ourselves with people who align with our goals and values. Understanding and identifying how abuse and manipulation can creep in and play out into our relationships is key to protecting ourselves and those we love from this dangerous form of emotional abuse. 5 strategies of the gaslighter. Being aware of these strategies and behaviors of gaslighting is the best form of prevention and self-protection. Destabilization. Gaslighters deliberately challenge the perceptions and realities of the target. Deception. Gaslighters intentionally lie and deceive to confuse the target. Denial. Gaslighters deny the target's truth and their lies, even in the face of evidence of the contrary. Deflection. Gaslighters change subjects, shift focus, and change lanes when confronted with their behaviors. Manipulation. Gaslighters, when threatened with abandonment, will shower their target with praise and affection in an effort to maintain control and keep them there. Take care of yourselves, trust yourselves, and be aware of the people that you have around. It is important for us to side by us and take care of us in today's world. Have faith in your skill set and trust yourself and take charge of the energy of the people around you.